Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world that pulls at us from every direction. The noise of the world is constant social media, gossip, opinions, distractions. It's easy to wake up in the morning and spend the whole day thinking about what others are doing, what others are saying, and where others are going. But I've come to remind you today, ***, you were not created to live your life chasing shadows. ***, you were made for something greater. And to step into that purpose, you must learn to focus on yourself and stop wasting your time. Too many people are living on borrowed identity. They are trying to find their worth in what others think of them. They are trying to impress people who don't even care about them. They're waiting for approval from people who can't even see the value God has already placed inside them. And day after day, they drift farther from their calling because they're too busy living someone else's life. I want to tell you something. Your time is precious. It is a gift. Every breath you take is a moment you will never get back. And some of us are spending that breath complaining, comparing, scrolling, envying, and chasing after things that leave us empty. You have to wake up and realize that your purpose is not found in the crowd. It's found in the quiet place, in the stillness where you face yourself, your fears, your faith, and your future. You see, focusing on yourself is not selfish. It's sacred because when you turn your attention inward, not in pride, but in humility, you begin to do the work that truly matters. You start to examine your heart. You begin to ask, what is the condition of my soul? What are the thoughts I keep feeding? What habits are shaping my destiny? Who am I becoming when no one is watching? The truth is, we are either growing or we are decaying. We are either stepping forward into purpose or we are falling backward into patterns. And the choice is ours. You cannot blame the world. You cannot blame your past. You cannot point fingers at others. The time has come for us to take responsibility for our lives. To say, I will no longer wait for others to change. I will change. I will no longer wait for the perfect moment. I will move now. I will no longer waste this gift of time because I recognize the value of every second. Some of you are so consumed with what others think, you've forgotten what you believe. You've forgotten the dreams God placed in your heart. You've forgotten that you were born with a unique voice, a unique assignment, a unique destiny. And you'll never find it running from yourself. You'll never fulfill it hiding in the crowd. You've got to get up and decide, I'm going to do the hard work. I'm going to heal. I'm going to grow. I'm going to pray. I'm going to build discipline. I'm going to stay focused because my life matters, my calling matters, my future matters. Look around you. How much time have you lost worrying about people who don't even think about you? How many days have you wasted chasing approval that never satisfies? How many nights have you spent restless because you were living outside your values, outside your purpose, outside your peace? It's time to come back home, not just to a place, but to a posture of clarity, a posture of focus, a posture that says, I may not be where I want to be yet, but I'm no longer staying where I've been. I may have fallen, but I will rise. I may have wasted time, but the rest of my time will count. You cannot change the past, but you can redeem the future. You cannot undo yesterday, but you can begin again today. And it all starts with focus. Focus on your growth. Focus on your faith. Focus on your health. Focus on your vision. Focus on becoming the kind of person who doesn't just talk about change, but lives it. There are people who need the gift inside you. There are lives that will be changed when you step fully into who you were created to be. But that will never happen if you keep giving your time away to distractions that don't deserve it. Make a decision today. Silence the noise, cut off the clutter, stop chasing the wind. You don't need the crowd's applause, you need the still, strong voice inside you to rise again. Choose focus, choose discipline. Choose to stop wasting time, because your life was never meant to be ordinary. It was meant to be a testimony. And if you truly believe your life is meant to be a testimony, then you must understand testimonies are not built in comfort. They are forged in commitment. They are not made by drifting through life hoping things will get better. They are made by people who stop blaming and start building. People who take the time to look in the mirror and say, I'm done making excuses. I'm done living on autopilot. I'm done giving power to things that are beneath the calling on my life. You see, when you focus on yourself, you're not saying the world doesn't matter. You're saying, I must be strong enough to help the world, and I can't be strong if I'm broken inside. You cannot give what you do not have. You cannot lead others in peace if you yourself are constantly distracted. You cannot love others well if you haven't first learned to value who you are. Some of us are more loyal to our distractions than to our destiny. We keep going back to the same routines, the same relationships, the same excuses, even though deep down we know they are draining us. Why? Because it's easier to stay busy than to get honest. It's easier to keep up appearances than to dig deep and do the inner work. But friend, nothing good grows in a life that is too distracted to be cultivated. There is greatness inside you, but greatness requires focus. It requires solitude. It requires stillness. It requires saying no to things that look good so you can say yes to what is truly great. It requires cutting off the things that feed your insecurity and surrounding yourself with things that nourish your soul. Too often, we try to fix the fruit without dealing with the root. We want a better life, but we don't want to examine the thoughts we think every day. We want healthier relationships, but we don't want to heal the wounds we've ignored for years. We want to walk in purpose, but we keep allowing fear to set the course. Listen to me, the break through you're waiting for is on the other side of focus. The peace you're craving will never be found in chaos. The confidence you're searching for won't come from the outside in. It comes from the inside out. You have to be willing to sit with yourself, to ask the hard questions, to get real about what's working and what's not. That's where change begins, not in the crowd, not in the noise, but in the quiet moments where you make the decision to turn the page. And yes, people may not understand. They may question why you're pulling back. They may mock your silence. They may not see the vision you're chasing, but that's okay. They're not supposed to. Because when God gives a person a vision, He gives it to them, not to the crowd. You have to be willing to be misunderstood for a season if you want to be clear for a lifetime. So unplug, unfollow the voices that confuse you, get back to the basics, take care of your mind, train your body, guard your heart, feed your soul, read the truth, speak life, pray without ceasing, wake up each day and remind yourself, I have work to do, I have a race to run, I have a calling to fulfill. The world will try to pull you in every direction: politics, trends, drama, division, fear. But you don't have to be tossed back and forth by every wave. You can be grounded. You can be centered. You can be unshakable, not because you have everything figured out, but because you've made the decision to stop wasting your time. You're not here to impress, you're here to impact. You're not here to copy, you're here to create. You're not here to simply exist. You're here to be transformed to become something eternal, something real, something meaningful. The clock is ticking, not to scare you, but to remind you you don't have forever. Your life is a vapor, and what you do with it matters. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for applause. Don't wait until it's convenient. The time is now. The choice is yours. What will you do with the life you've been given? Choose to focus. Choose to rise. Choose to stop handing your hours to meaningless things. The world doesn't need another distracted person chasing the wind. It needs someone who has locked eyes with purpose and refused to look away, and that someone can be you, because the truth is, the moment you stop handing your time over to things that don't serve you is the moment you begin to reclaim your power. And I don't mean worldly power. I'm not talking about popularity, possessions, or control. I'm talking about the quiet, immovable strength that comes from living with intention. The kind of power that comes from knowing who you are, why you're here, and what you will no longer tolerate in your life. You've got to stop asking for permission to become who you were born to be. Stop waiting for someone to invite you into your own destiny. You already have the invitation. It came the moment you were created. But too many people waste that invitation because they're too busy watching other people walk through their doors. Let me tell you, your door is different. Your path is different. Your timing is different. But that doesn't make it less valuable. That doesn't make it any less holy. When you focus on yourself, you begin to see how much you've neglected your soul. You begin to notice the places that have been ignored, the wounds that were covered up instead of healed, the dreams that were buried under the weight of fear. And at first, that focus may feel uncomfortable. It might hurt. It might break you open, but that breaking is not to destroy you. It's to build you again stronger, wiser, cleaner, purer. People will try to rush you. The world will say you're behind. But behind according to who? The ones who don't even know where they're going. The ones chasing a success that's empty on the inside. You're not behind. You're just being called deeper, called inward, called into a season where you're no longer just reacting to life, but choosing how to live it. And choosing how to live requires discipline. You can't just want change. You have to work for it. You have to train your mind like a warrior. You have to say no to what's easy so you can say yes to what's eternal. You have to realize that your future is shaped by your daily decisions, and those decisions begin in the dark, quiet hours when nobody is watching. Will you scroll or will you seek? Will you waste the evening or will you grow? Will you feed your distractions or will you feed your calling? You can't be everything to everyone and still become who you were created to be. At some point, you have to let people down so you don't let your purpose down. At some point, you have to stop explaining yourself to people who were never assigned to understand you in the first place. At some point, you have to make peace with the fact that not everyone will clap for you, and that's perfectly fine. Your job is not to gather applause. Your job is to be faithful. Some of you are exhausted not because you're doing too much, but because you're doing the wrong things. You're carrying burdens that were never yours. You're fighting battles that don't belong to you. You're entertaining voices that should have no place in your head or your heart. Let them go. Let them fall silent. You don't owe anyone an explanation for choosing peace. You don't have to apologize for deciding to grow. When you focus on yourself, you begin to walk differently. You speak differently. You make decisions with clarity and peace. You no longer chase validation because you've already found your worth. You no longer live out of insecurity because you've built your identity on something unshakable. You no longer fear missing out because you know what's meant for you will not pass you by. But hear me, this path is not always easy. There will be lonely seasons. There will be times when the silence feels heavy. There will be moments when you wonder if it's worth it. That's when you have to remember, this is the cost of growth. You are shedding the old skin. You are leaving behind who you used to be. You are being molded into something better, something real. Don't rush the process. Don't try to microwave your development. The deep work takes time. It takes patience. It takes faith. And in a world addicted to speed and shortcuts, your willingness to slow down and focus will set you apart. Your refusal to be swept away by the currents of the crowd will make you stand firm like a tree planted by rivers of living water. You were never meant to be a carbon copy. You were never meant to blend in. You were never meant to waste your life trying to be liked. You were meant to be light, to shine with clarity, to walk with purpose, to lead with love, and none of that is possible if your eyes are constantly looking outward instead of inward. Some of you have been so distracted, you've forgotten how to listen not just to others, but to yourself, to your soul, to your inner compass. You've forgotten what your own voice sounds like because you've spent so long repeating what everyone else wants to hear. But that can change today. You can reclaim that voice. You can return to that center. You can remember who you are and begin again, stronger than before. And the amazing thing is this: the more you focus on becoming whole, the more you realize how much you've been settling. Settling for shallow relationships, settling for empty routines, settling for environments that do not honor your growth. And once your eyes are opened, you can't go back. You won't go back, because you've tasted something better. You've touched something real, so do the hard work. Wake up earlier, take care of your body, cut off the drama, turn off the noise, study, practice, read, pray, listen, build, and most importantly, keep showing up. Even when it's hard, even when you feel alone, even when no one else sees the vision yet, keep showing up, because this is how transformation happens, not in one big leap, but in the daily, deliberate, focused steps of someone who refuses to be average. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to be faithful with today. You don't have to know what's around every corner. You just have to keep moving forward, one honest step at a time. And with every step you will grow stronger, you will grow wiser, you will grow freer, and maybe one day someone will look at your life, not your words, not your followers, not your status, but your life, and they'll be moved. They'll be inspired, they'll ask how you did it, and you'll tell them, I stopped wasting time, I stopped living for others, I stopped running from myself, I got quiet, I got focused, and I started to live on purpose. And that, my friend, is a legacy worth building. But understand this, a legacy isn't built overnight. It's built in the quiet hours when no one is watching, in the sacrifices you make when no one claps, in the decisions you choose when no one is there to cheer you on. It's built when you say no to comfort and yes to calling, when you walk away from things that once felt good but no longer serve who you are becoming. It's built in the fire of discipline and the calm of devotion. You don't have to scream to be strong. You don't have to post it to prove it. Just live it, day in and day out. Let the fruit of your life speak louder than any announcement ever could. Because when you focus on becoming rather than appearing, the results will show in time. You won't need to chase opportunity, opportunity will find you. You won't need to beg for love, love will recognize you. You won't need to fight for your place, you'll know you've been assigned. There's no greater peace than walking in alignment. No greater joy than knowing you are doing the work you were made to do. And that peace, that joy, it doesn't come from the approval of others. It comes from a quiet, unwavering focus on who you were created to be. So walk forward boldly, guard your time fiercely, protect your heart intentionally, keep your eyes on what truly matters. Your future is too important. Your life is too sacred. Your purpose is too real. Stop wasting your time. Start becoming who you were always meant to be. So I leave you with this. Your time is your life. Don't spend it chasing what fades. Don't give it away to noise that steals your peace, to people who drain your purpose, or to habits that numb your calling. Look inward, get still, focus, choose growth over comfort, choose purpose over popularity, and choose to live each day with the awareness that your life has meaning far beyond what the world can offer. This is your moment. Don't waste it. Live it with focus, with intention, and with the quiet strength of someone who knows exactly who they are and who they're becoming.